We now migrate to the moorlands of the UK's Peak District, where at Wardlow Wells Farm, it's not just the wet weather that horsewoman Cheryl Gill has had to battle against in order to spend time with her beloved equine friends.
I've got asthma and have had asthma since I was 2, hay fever and eczema. So I'm allergic to most things, in fairness. Horses were always something that I wanted to be around. I wanted to go horse riding. I did try. I did go to lessons, but only survived about 10 minutes, I'd say, without having an asthma attack or having my eyes all swell up and my hives. And that went on for years, and literally I just assigned myself to the fact that horses were not going to be a part of my life. We got a dog that was hypoallergenic, and we thought there must be something out there, a horse that is hypoallergenic, which is what we did research on, and we did find the American Bashkir Curly. I asked for some samples to come through so I could touch the samples. I could just put them close to my face to see if I'd have a reaction with my face and my eyes and my breathing. I spent a weekend with some curlies that were around and at a yard in Wales. I was absolutely fine, didn't have any adverse reactions. So this is what led me on to my 2 curlies.
Pam is one of 2 American Bashkirs that were purchased following Cheryl's life-changing discovery just over a decade ago. Although the mare's original stablemate has since been rehomed, in 2022 she produced a foal, Bailey, that now also resides on the farm, further fueling his owner's ongoing fascination with this unique breed.
There's around 4,500 curlies in the world. They are very, very rare. You have a straight curly, a medium curly, and an extreme curly, like a micro curl. And at the minute, Bailey, he's 14 months old, and I think he's probably going to be a medium curl, I would say. I'd say a medium curl, looking at his coat, because he's quite wavy at the minute. The ears are always curly. Their eyelashes are always curly. They've got curly fetlocks as well. You can get different colours. You can get duns, you can get bays, palominos, all different colours. Pam is more of an extreme curl, but she's not a micro curl. In summertime, she ends up quite wavy and she's got more of a dull coat to her hair. In winter, she's really curly, very tight like a sheep, but not extreme micro curls. She has her mane and her tail. They've always been a little bit sparse. They've never been really thick and lush. They've got strong hocks. They've got a really strong rump. They can withstand temperatures in -35, -30. Compared to other breeds of horses, their eyes are wider set for better vision. When they're fight and flight, they tend to think it through more so, which is why they are fabulous for training. They're very easy, not easy to train, because ultimately, they're still a horse, but they tend to think it through rather than react, which is a real pleasure. A real pleasure to deal with and to train. The scientific research that's been carried out, which is still a little bit hazy, but they say it's a certain protein that's lacking in their skin, in their genetics, basically makes them hypoallergenic. And I was so much better. In fact, I didn't really have that much of a reaction after spending 2 years with my horses. It made me immune to normal horses. And again, now I can be with any breed of horse, and I don't have the asthma attack, I don't have the hives, I don't have my itchy eyes. And it's all thanks to the American Bashkir Curly. I've always loved horses. So for me, that was the stepping stone to go, right, where can I go from here now? Because I've got these horses. I'd read so much about traditional, I'd read so much about, the natural horsemanship way, which is where I was veering to more so than anything. I wanted to keep them barefoot as well, if possible, because as a breed, they're supposed to have really hardy feet.
There's Clefco. Unlike a lot of bred horses, like thoroughbreds or quarter horses or some of the big warm bloods, they've got the right feet, which is a good thing. And what I mean by that is they've got feet which are of the right size for them. A lot of thoroughbreds, a lot of quarter horses have pony feet, and obviously they've got a big heavy animal on little tiny feet, and guess what? The feet break down quite easily. There is a downside to shoeing. Basically, it primarily upsets the shock absorption qualities of the horse's foot, which means that they may not get problems with their foot, but they'll probably get problems with their shoulder or their back or their neck or their hocks or somewhere else. They're looking good.
The welfare was really important. What I wanted to do was go down the bitless route because of the fact that the mouth is so sensitive. It is a really delicate part of a horse's body. So the bridle that I use is it's multi-bridle, but it's a bitless bridle. What it works on is the pressure points where the knots are here on the top of the nose. Instead of having the bit, the pressure release mechanism, which is used with basically she responds to the pressure and then the release is the reward. These knots here on the bitless bridle, that's how they work, whether it's the side reins or whether it's underneath. Because with the bit, obviously it's in a sensitive part of the mouth, and the bitless bridle is also situated on the nose where it's not affecting any of the really sensitive nerve ends. Before I go out on a ride, or even before I go into school, I do circling with them and I just get connected with Pam, and I ask her to do transitions based upon my body language more so than any particular aid, as in pulling or pushing or whipping or anything like that. And what I want to see from her before I get on is her connecting with me. So she's responding to my body language more so than me trying to push her into doing it.
Good girl.
It is easy to teach a horse to have confidence, to stand away from you, to respect my space and I'll respect yours. Now I know what to do, it's really important. I suppose it's a stepping stone to making a really good relationship when you're riding, because they learn to trust you, and if they trust you on the ground, then they can trust you up on the saddle. I go out riding, I go anywhere, I take Pam anywhere I fancy going. I put her in the box and I travel places as well. Whenever I'm out hacking, Pam just gets so much attention because they don't know, and then when I say what she is, they go, wow, I've never heard of that. I'm so loyal to the breed. My journey's always been about, I suppose, enjoying them and just being around them. I love being around them. Because I used to sit outside and just used to watch them, how they used to interact with one another. And I just found it all so fascinating. I still do to this day. It's my absolute passion. I absolutely love it. And I don't think it'll ever change, really. And I'm wanting to build my little curly herd to hopefully probably get out there with mental health and a clinic therapy style business in long term. Be able to have people around the curlies and really appreciate them as a breed, because it doesn't matter whether you're allergic or not. They're just such a lovely breed to be around. And if I can get to that stage and have that therapy clinic, that would be my ultimate goal.